Hey everybody, it's Durger time. Welcome back to another episode of Total Extreme Wrestling 2016, Billy Corgan's NWA. And we had some big changes in the last game. If we recall, we just had our show of, what was it called? What did we call this one? Resolution, which I think was the very first pay-per-view that we actually ever did for the NWA. And some stuff happened. So... obviously, Dustin Rhodes retained, which I think a lot of people predicted against Chris Daniels. But Tim Storm actually defeated Nick Aldis and won, I guess you would call it the championship title. But basically, what he ended up doing was wresting control of the NWA from Billy Corgan and giving it to the grandson of the company. So, technically, Pinkie George III can now do whatever he wants with the NWA. And, so that's, probably bad news. It's not good for anybody. Colt Josephus defeated Guerrillas of Destiny and retained the tag team titles, as did the disciple Icarus, who defeated Pillman through some shenanigans and kept it. So a lot of changes in the landscape here, unfortunately for a lot of people here, and it's going to be interesting going forward here. Now let's go ahead. We're still hemorrhaging money. Jeez, I just don't know what to do with that. What is costing us so much right now? The pay-per-view sales were only like 9,000, which is a real bummer. Do not know. But we have a show of Starrcade, which should bring us some money in. Some money tonight, and especially if we keep on doing what we're going to do, which is keep our mid-carders and, lower, basically being the focus of Starrcade. We should be able to save some money here. Now, what I want to see, Cody still is 22 days away from coming back. So he could still do, angles and stuff like that, but he is injured, so he will be unavailable until the next pay-per-view, which we should set up. I think I have one scheduled from last year, which will be for March. Let's see, do we have one? We have February, and we have one in April, American Dream. So we're going to need one for March coming up here. So let's go ahead and add a show in. 2 hours seems good. And we will set it in the Midwest as again here. Should be basically where we're looking to shoot this, so that should be fine. Let's take a look at our calendar. A lot of unavailability here for like everybody. Huh. And Christopher Daniels is like pretty much unavailable everywhere. So, I mean, we're probably going to do something on a Monday. It looks like should be fine. And we probably want to space it out. So, we want to give Cody some time to heal because we're going to want him in the main event for it. So, let's go ahead and do it as March, the fourth week of March, on a Monday, which should work fine. And then it's a little weird because our go home show will be like a week ahead. Just with the way this is, we have a show on Tuesday, but we're gonna have a pay-per-view. I guess that works. It's fine. It's not that unusual. But One Wild Light, Road to Ruin. It's not bad, but actually, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do a special which removes itself. They are dormant until we reschedule it, and we're gonna name it NWA. Let's just call it Legacy, because this is going to be a lot of legacy here going up in our next storylines, and it's going to be important about the legacy of the NWA and who controls it, as well as the titles. So I think that fits. So we have a Starrcade show tonight, and I don't think we have any real issues to really look at. No, not really. Looking pretty good overall. So let's go ahead and let's book a Starrcade. Why don't we? And I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to do another tournament, because we were talking about, and it just tends to be a problem, I think, with the way I book in general, is I feel like we need, we never even used these guys. I feel like we need some tag action. I feel like the tag team titles have been a little underutilized. Like how many times in a whole year we've only really used it a couple times. I mean, our junior heavyweight was worse, but that's mostly just because we didn't really have anybody that fit in that role. And our women's is definitely worse, but that's really because it's stuck on Ronda, and I don't want to strip it from her until she gets back from her MMA fight. Whereas the world's heavyweight, I think we've done a lot with. We had the Super Cup, and obviously the X division is sort of filling its role as a supplement to the world's women's division, which now Ashley Vox has. And for this, I feel like we need to do something a little bit more with these, and I think it would help since we have this roster now of a lot of mid-carders to kind of play around with these guys a little bit. Let's make some teams. Let's do something interesting. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a new title in here, sort of. It's gonna be a tag team, male only, tournament title. So it's not gonna be a real title, and it's gonna be in March. Mid card, and what are we going to do for function here? That's really only good for the AI, though, so it doesn't really matter for us. Event frequency, also only for AI, so it doesn't matter. So we want to call this. We're just going to leave it blank. This is going to be like the real NWA Crockett Cup. So we'll bring the Crockett Cup into play here. For a March sort of tournament structure. We'll do a tournament. But first, we kind of have to fill out some of the teams here and really figure out who we're going to have. Now, I want to see what chemistry we have going on here. So let's show all positive. Cody Rhodes and Dustin. Ideally, honestly, until Cody got injured, I kind of wanted them to have a tag run together, but right now it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. So Verna and Lennon, we knew had a good chemistry, and they've broken up recently. Brody with Callahan. PJ Black with Tim Storm, which is kind of interesting. Blanchard and Vox ain't gonna help us right now. Ospreay and Rory Gulak. No, that's not really a kind of the team I want here. Jacobs and Nemeth. Not a lot of chemistry here between some people. So let's see. Let's go ahead and look at our teams here, and so we don't have enough to really have a tournament here. Now, certainly, do we? Pillman and Nemeth we can keep together if we wanted to. Though it sounds like, actually, it might be better to make a team with Jimmy Jacobs and Ryan Nemeth. Got a good name for him here. Let's see. Generation Y. Actually, that's not horrible. We'll have them work as a unit. Let's see what else. Who do we have here? We got the new Fuka Nakamura, but I don't. We really don't know if they have any chemistry yet. So that's really the question: is who do we have that we could think that might have chemistry that we could put together? But definitely like a Bull James and somebody. We kind of want this to be kind of a mid-Carter Cup. So Chase Owens, Elliott Russell, Sloan and Verna. Can't really put them back together. Well, actually, we could. Because we did end the storyline with Verna being defeated. And why is he old school face as a heel? It's a really, really good question. It's kind of odd. God, he's really bad at pretty much every gimmick, huh? Let's change his gimmick while we're here. I want to heal anything that suits you. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's what we're doing. Yep. Well, so who would have thought it ended like that? That the tag team that broke up, finally, Lennon Sloan, the new oddly obsessed communist, has now convinced comrade Mike Verna to join him. And they are now. That should just be the block. The Soviet block. I kind of like the Soviet block. Already in tag team. Oh, right, they are, aren't they? Well, we never actually broke them up, did we? Then we will rename you. That will work. Still, so we did have the Rhodes brothers kind of as a tag team already, but didn't really do much with them. I think they had like a match at one point. Hangman Page and Chase Owens, again, not going to really be doing much there because Hangman has the junior heavyweight now. So I think what we need to do for our next Starrcade is really do some exploratory work and find out, like, Fuda Nakamura, you're got some really strong performance skills. Who can you wrestle with? Who works for you as a tag member? That's kind of what we want to look for. We have these younger people here that we're going to want to really probably find a niche for them here. And so we have what? We have Fuda Nakamura is new. We want to do something with him. Kevin Conundrum himself. We will probably want to do something with. You know what? Let's give him a rub. Why don't we have him join Brian Pillman? That gives Pillman something to do during this this tournament, and I have a feeling they might work well together. We'll have to see how their chemistry is, and perhaps we'll see tonight. So, we need some more tag teams, and we might go and look to find some other potential tag teams out here. I don't think there's a good filter for that. Oh, you know what we could do too is check to see if there's any incomplete tag teams. Because we always pull people in for a couple shows. We don't have to sign them long term, but I mean, not really the people you would want. Like, I don't want Calhoun. We had Corey Hollis at one point, but not really what we're looking for. Mega Muscles. Again, we already have him with somebody else, so it's not really going to help us. Kurt Hawkins is in the Fed. Pure Juice. I mean, we could. Huh. Man, what are you wrestling with right now? First of all, what do you call? Oh, $1,000. Huh. Do we want Alex Rose? Actually, not that this popular. Let's pull him in for like a 3-month contract or something. And let's get him as cheap as possible. I will give you a hiring veto because that really won't matter. And never lower than mid-Carter. And yeah, it's probably fine. Let's see if you would even take that. Downside's too low. Okay, well. Ugh. What do you want? 930 for a down? 930? Really? Oh. Well, it's not horrendous, but it's actually kind of more I would want to spend it for Alex Rose. But we will partner him with PJ Black, give him something to do. Maybe we'll find it that actually ends up being pretty good. I wish we could have the Switchblade Conspiracy, but that's not going to happen. Paul Robinson and Will Ospreay. Again, we're not going to have Will Ospreay doing that. Shortlist that just in case Mojo ever wants to come on over. Same thing. If you wanna, when's your contract up, bud? I would love to have the Vaudevillains back. Can I see when your contract's up? Not really. Available. I just see when you're available. But what is there a contracts option? I can see when you're not really. Bummer. No. Availability? No. Huh. I'd like to know when he's free, but it'll pop up for us. But that would have been nice. So not really. So we're gonna have to look maybe in the indies to find some tag teams to kind of flesh it out a little bit. But you know, because we want to have a decent sized tournament. It might go for a while. It might not even go for the 1 month cycle. We might want to do like a full 16-man tournament, just to have something for these tag teams to do to kind of work through and give them some experience. Like I said, we want to kind of build some of these people that are lower in our card, and I think the tag division would be nice for them. So, you know, Kevin, Rory, Elliot, Flip, you know, all these guys, kind of giving them something a little bit more to do would be nice. Randy Rain, like getting these guys out of the opener position into lower mid card would probably be nice. So we'll see what we can do with them. But let's book Starrcade and keep that in mind, and let's use this Starrcade as exploratory. See if we can build some chemistry between people. All right. We do have some locker room incidents. Oh, a whole bunch. Wow. Okay, let's see what we got. Raven was antagonizing Comrade Werner so much that a fight broke out. Wow. Raven's really getting bad. Didn't he have an attitude problem before? I'm gonna fine him. I know you're unhappy. We'll stop fighting. Josephus Brody and Dustin Rhodes has something. All right. Brody was brought before wrestlers' court, accused of making a mess backstage and cleaning it up. And he improved. Good. Avatar Christopher Daniels and Brian Pillman. Avatar Christopher Daniels has been passing on tips, working with as a heel to his protege. That's good. So getting a little bit better, maybe at potential heel turn for Pillman. So we did have a backstage. You know, I'm gonna let them. All right. I mean, it lowered our rating, but everyone got a boost from that, which is good. So maybe it'll be a little bit calmer, a little less fighting backstage would be nice. Just a little bit. That's all I ask for. All right. So we're gonna have 1,100 fans. County Fair once again. I think that's fine. If I remember correctly, the County Fair kind of fit about 1,500, right? Plymouth County Fair. Let's see, 1,300. So it'll be within our bracket of how many people are coming in. That should be fine. Still not a hotbed, but that's okay. Let's click that again. Make sure. Okay. We are going to be airing this on Hulu once again. And yeah, so I mean, we'll have to see. We should be coming up to a point where we're going to have a renegotiation soon, I would think. We'll have to see where we are in terms of maybe getting a better spot on TV to help us get some more TV revenue. We might be a little bit away because we did do a contract renegotiation for October, but I think it was like a 6-month or 9-month. But I think within 3 months of it, you can start to renegotiate. Something we'll have to look at. All right, let's go ahead. We got 60 minutes to run with this. Let's go ahead and book this show. Okay, so we have a pretty light Starrcade that we're going to run here. Like we said, we're trying to keep it a little bit cheaper. Story focus more on the mid-card. So not a lot of upper mid-card movement. We'll probably start focusing on that as we get closer to the next pay-per-view. Let's go ahead and run it, see how this goes. So for the first time, I've never really done one, but I'm actually doing a pre-show. Extremely short. I just want to see if there's any chemistry anywhere with some of these guys, as we're kind of trying to build up some tag teams. I wanted to see if any of these guys have either at least no bad chemistry or maybe some potential good chemistry. Nothing as far as I could tell. The match is fine. It's not great or anything. It doesn't really, do anything at all. But it's not. It doesn't hurt anybody. Unfortunately, like I said, we don't have any idea on whether there's any chemistry. But it doesn't seem like there is. But at least there's no bad chemistry between any of these guys. So if we do decide to combine these guys together, we know we'll be pretty okay. We start the show with an announcement from Tony Schiavone in the announce table, announcing that there will be, for this year, a reinstation of the Crockett Cup for the tag team tournaments, and that this year it's been determined that it will be open to all comers, not just NWA wrestlers. So other tag teams from around the world can compete, and the winner will get a chance to fight against the incumbent tag team champions. Not bad. Off to a strong start. Good announcing job. It's fine. We also have more of a, not a promo, but a scene in Paul Pinkie George's office. It's actually Billy Corgan's old office, who's no longer found around NWA right now. and he ushers in Hangman Page and Ashley Vox into Billy Corgan's old office. He's brash and unapologetic, putting his feet up on his new desk, taking a cigar out, not lighting it, but kind of keeping it in his mouth to kind of show bravado. He looks comfortable. He looks smug. He looks like everything he's been planning for this year has come into fruition. He's talking out of one side of his mouth as a cigar is kind of sitting in the other. So it's kind of muted and muddled. And he says to both of them, times are changing. I run this place now, and I need to know there's loyalty in my ranks. I hear the rumors. I hear some of you talking about this change. I hear some of you are talking about working behind my back. But I got to tell you right now, this is all here for a reason. I have big money coming in. I have investors. I have sponsors. And I need the right people to be my champions. You both are champions. And I think you could be the right people. But I'm warning you, you need to stay in line. And if you do, you will be rewarded. But if you stray from me, there will be consequences. There will be hell to pay. Vox seems to be completely on board. She's nodding. She's like, yeah, absolutely. Paige rolls his eyes and just walks out. And just like, whatever. So a little bit of dissension in the ranks. It seems like not everybody respects Paul Pinkie George's authority now. He performed poorly in this segment. Hangman Page looked great, and the angle got the crowd hotter. So it still did its job, but we do see that there's some dissension going on in the ranks here. We have a segment afterwards that is a freestyle segment. Lennon Sloan announces that he has a new tag partner in the ring and introduces his old tag partner, Mike Verna, now going as Comrade Verna. Both of them dressed in red now with Soviet SARS and a sickle, kind of Soviet symbol on their trunks. They say that they are here to redistribute the wealth in the NWA and also redistribute the tag titles in this division. And they are going to prove that tonight, that they are a unified team, more so than ever. So he's kind of convinced Verna of his ways and had him join back up into this weird team that they're calling the Soviet Bloc. No, we do want to change his gimmick because we should never had an old school face gimmick. Let's see. Hopefully it's good. Very good. Both of them are communists. Sounds good. All right. And the new Soviet Bloc goes ahead and has a fight. It's extremely short. Soviet Bloc defeats Fuda Nakamura and Ho Ho Lun in 4 minutes. Comrade Verna defeated Ho Ho Lun with pinfall, the Krypton Bomb. Fuda Nakamura was struggling to keep up. Sloan and Verna are both better performers. But unfortunately, it was a work-the-crowd match, and they were already hot. But we also don't have any indication of chemistry or anything like that. I was kind of seeing if Nakamura clicked with Ho Ho Lun and all. At least he does. At least it seems like he doesn't have bad chemistry, which is good because we do want to maybe put him in a part of the tag tournament. We have a match with Ashley Vox and Tessa Blanchard, and it's actually for the X Division title. And Ashley Vox defeats Tessa Blanchard in a fast count pinfall. Hebner all of a sudden just does a quick 1-2-3 and a roll up in the middle of the match, and easily allows Vox to retain her belt. She's getting better at her gimmick. They have great chemistry, and it shows in her performance. This is a D+. This seems very interesting. It seems to be that Brian Hebner seems to be possibly under orders by Paul Pinkie George, perhaps. Perhaps this was some type of reward for Vox staying loyal, that the ref kind of gave her a little bit of assistance with Tessa Blanchard. We have a match that has Brian Pillman Jr. Fighting against Kevin Condren in an exhibition match. It's decent reaction, subpar wrestling, though. Kevin Condren doesn't quite match up in terms of skill. they have, or popularity, because we are kind of a mixed, so that can improve quickly. He has a D rating here. Pillman looked good. Nobody improved. Just an exhibition match. Again, seeing, what Kevin has in terms of chemistry. They don't necessarily have chemistry, it looks like, but again, nothing bad at least. And afterwards, in a sign of respect, Pillman shakes Condren's hand and kind of shows him, like, that was a good performance out there. Nothing to be said about that. No one improved, but just kind of building up some popularity for Condren, because having a successful angle with Pillman will help give him some credibility with the fans. We have a announcement after Hangman Page and Flip Gordon enter the ring in their main event match, in an exhibition match. Pinkie George comes out and goes to the timekeeper, whispers something, and then the announcement is made that it says that the match is now a title match for Hangman Page's junior heavyweight title. And in the main event, had good heat, decent wrestling. Hangman Page, in his now first title defense, defeats Flip Gordon in 15 minutes. We also had Tim Storm run in when the ref was distracted and attack Hangman Page. So we have a lot of heat going on with Hangman Page for turning his back against Pinkie George. And we see that he's sort of running a very tight ship as a tyrant in the NWA. Gordon was off his game, but they still performed very well. C+ is pretty good out of both of these guys. And we end the show. It's a D+. It's fine, especially for having some weaker wrestlers on the card. I think that was pretty good, all things considered. All right, we do have some emails. Tamatonga's relocating to us, which is nice. We got crappy rating. It's not bad, not great. And Hoholoon's is getting shit on by Raven. So let's go ahead and take a look at the news here real quick. Quiet Storm was fired from Noah. Cody Hall's gone from Noah. Noah's knocking people out. Like, they're really tossing people out here. It's kind of interesting. CZW had an all-out Rampage pay-per-view. 426 fans. Also, Ryon Fujiwara has gone from Noah as well. They're like, and more hot, they're like tossing people out. What's going on over there? Jeez. They had a good show for their tour. Huh. Interesting. They just like let go a whole bunch of people. Very weird. Very, very, very weird. So what did we make in ticket sales? Fine. TV sales, fine. We're still just money-wise not hitting where we need to be. I think we need to look at a better TV deal. I don't know if we can get one. I'm kind of curious to see. Oh, no, not that. Curious what we would actually, what's out there right now that's willing to go to us. Because we have Hulu. It's a very small, tiny, smaller. CW still doing that pay-per-view, which we have for the nothing. Nobody's really willing to work with us yet. Because we really want to get more of that TV revenue going. Is going to help us financially. Because right now we are still just, it's really workers' expenses is killing us, but more than anything else, but we're just not raking it. I really thought we were going to get more money out of our pay-per-view revenue, especially considering other months we've almost done like 22,000, 1,600,000. To have that much less is hurting us. We really need some more gains here in our ticket sales and our TV revenue. possibly sponsorships. We might want to also look at our merchandise sales because they seem to be very low. We can go and take a look at our merchandise and see what we're at. It's costing us $500 a month. We do have a custom production. That might actually be a problem. Let's go ahead and do optimistic and standard control. So that might give us a bump. I think we were screwing ourselves over with our merchandise sales there. So hopefully that will help. We might want to also look at joining an alliance to get some funds. Everyone kind of hates us right now, but New Japan World doesn't like us. One Wrestling Alliance is the one we left. But there might be some options out there we'll have to look at. If you guys got ideas on how to kind of turn those finances around, let me know. Anyways, that is it for me today. Thank you for joining me for this other episode of Starrcade for, I guess it's not Billy Corgan's NWA anymore, huh? I guess it's Pinkie George III's NWA. But anyways, I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.